Welcome to ZKast, everyone. I'm Kerravala from ZK Research. I'm here at Google Next Cloud. I'm in the expo hall. I'm with Dinesh Venugopal, CEO of Tenarai, formerly Infogain. And Dinesh, first time on with me, so just a quick intro on yourself and a little bio.
Okay, good. So I've been with Tenarai for the last couple of years, and prior to that, I was with other digital transformation companies and lived in the Silicon Valley for over 25 years now, and started my career as a developer. Now I'm right in the midst of the AI revolution.
Yeah, now Tenarai, name may be new to people, but it's a company formerly known as Infogain, and you've rebranded the company recently. You've announced a new vision for the company as well as a whole new go-to-market plan. What was the impetus behind that? Is the market really just moving that fast, or are you trying to create a brand that's a little more closely tied to where your customers are going?
That's a very important question for us, because we have been on this journey for the last many months on this whole AI transformation journey. And if you really think about what is happening in the market today, AI is moving very quickly. I call it at the speed of AI. And every day you see announcements in the news about new model drops and
every day.
Yeah. But if you talk to CXOs and enterprises, they will tell you that most of them are not seeing the value. In fact, I saw a recent survey which said 55% of all CXOs are saying, see, I don't see much value or ROI from AI. So there is a big gap that needs to get addressed. And I think we are the company that can help enterprises make and shift that gap. We see a huge opportunity there. And so what we did there, Zeus, was we are on this transformation journey for the last many months now, and we did kind of 3 important things for that transformation.
Yeah, now, and you're right, every report I see, every customer I talk to, they get stuck in, customers get stuck in proof of concepts. There was a very famous MIT report that talked about how 95% companies see the ROI.
Yeah.
Now, you positioned Tenarai as an enterprise AI acceleration company. How does that differ from the traditional digital transformation services that you've seen throughout your career and that you've offered before?
Correct. So digitization is the process of how you take legacy, either manual process or legacy systems, and modernize them, right? They make human beings more efficient, more effective. But with AI coming on board, it's completely different. Now you have non-linear things you can do with AI. For example, if you are operating tickets and you've been operating tickets to the phone, digitization would be making it omni-channel, many different ways of doing it. You can do an email and get a single view of that. But now with agent orchestration in AI, you can have tickets come in, customers call in, and get resolved automatically. So that's a big difference, and that requires a very different mindset, very different talent. It requires platforms, it requires technology, and so that's the journey we are on.
Yeah, so some people may think they're similar, but they're actually quite different.
Quite different, yeah.
Now, I want to make sure I get this. So you mentioned 3 pillars in your transformation. They are global talent initiatives, the partner ecosystem, including working with leading tech companies and startups, and the development of an enterprise AI platform. Talk about those and which of those are the hardest to get right before you can launch?
So the 3 pivots or the 3 pillars of a transformation. One was the AI platform that we built, right? And each of them, I'll talk a little bit about the challenges they face, and all of them have different challenges. The AI platform, we did something fantastic in last July. So we launched it, we demoed it to the keyword is demoed to a few customers. They were blown away by the platform. And within 8 weeks of building that platform, our competitors were already there. Because newer models had dropped. And so that change, it was significant for us to realize that it's just not enough to keep building platforms. That's a big change with it. Yeah. It's just how quickly can you adopt and solve problems. So we moved from building to solving problems. And that's how the platform got built now. It's basically solving problems. So that's a big shift. The second is on the partner ecosystem. People are used to working with the large cloud providers as partners, or large enterprises, the tech ones, the big ones.
Oh, look at the show.
Exactly. and they're very advanced and have partner technologies and partner methodologies which are very advanced. But most of these companies that we work with don't have well-established partner model. So for us to build it out with them working with them to figure out what the partnership model is going to be has been very hard. But having said that, our startup ecosystem is really flourishing right now, and we're betting heavily on it.
Yeah, so staying on that theme, look, Google does startups about as well as any of the hyperscalers, and none of them do it great, right? It's very small now. You've got a program called the Startup Acceleration Program that actually drives proven value into these startups. And so how does that help the companies that you work with and the Fortune 500 companies realize real value out of these startups versus just trying to chase the shiny new object?
Absolutely real value. Because at Tenarai, one of the big things shift for us is we're obsessed with outcomes, not just proof of concept, but proof of value. So for example, at a large tech company, we worked with a startup called Gradio, and they were running marketing campaigns which were taking 2-3 weeks. Now we're able to do this in 2 hours. Think about the compression in time there. It's a real value that we work with the startup on, right? So the startup was able to bring in the technology that is needed. We were able to bring in the process re-engineering that is needed. The manpower came from us, and we were able to reduce it. That's an example of that. Another example is where another retailer that we work with that has wanted to get a chatbot in. So we said no more chatbots. So those are for 2025.
2025.
So now we said we are in the business of actually outcomes. So we asked about outcomes. They wanted to reduce wait times. So we brought a couple of startups in. One of the ones we worked with, 11 Labs, and we got them in, worked with them, and we've now compressed the customer wait time significantly. So we'll focus on outcomes, and if you focus on outcomes, then you can find out which startup to work with. And the advantage that startups have, they have great technology, no access to customers. We have great access to customers, and we love their technology, and that's why it works great for us.
Yeah, no, 11 Labs, great company. Looking forward to seeing what you do with them. Now, here's the question I have to ask you. Every global systems integrator I talk to claims to be AI first. Right, and so how is Tenarai differentiating itself so you're truly unique and not just another one of the many vendors claiming to be AI first?
So I think the first is that we are smaller, more nimble, more agile than everybody else. So second is we did an inside-out transformation a year ago. Right, we started a journey a year ago, and roughly today 60-70% of our revenue is all AI driven. So it's a big shift for us, which means that all of the transformation work that we did had a significant impact on us. And the most important thing is, since we focus on outcomes, we start with the customer's context. We look at what needs to get done. We work with them on the domain expertise needed, bring the technology, and solve problems. So our entire approach is solve problems or get the outcomes that the customers need, as opposed to proof of concepts and the whole POC hell, right? We don't do that. We just go directly into getting our customers into proof of value in production. That's why we have established this whole FDE model, which is working out really, really well for us.
Yeah, and over the last few years, even your time in Infogain, you've really ramped up what you do with partners. Now, it's been said that no one company can deliver all of AI, much as they try. And so moving forward, how important is this partnership model in you helping your customers bring ROI to life, or AI to life?
I think that's a critical piece, and that's why smaller companies reach out to partners, and larger SIs you talked about try to build it all themselves. So when we have a partner ecosystem you work with, especially startup ecosystem and larger companies that you work with, you're able to solve problems quicker. And we rely heavily on the partner ecosystem and network. I think that's a big shift in our industry. And we were one of the first to get out there and recognize it and move ahead. So I'm not saying we're far ahead, but we are a nose ahead on that business. Yeah.
All right, now I want to shift gears a little bit. I did read in a recent interview, you made the claim, and I love it when CEOs say provocative things, that and I want to quote it right, the knowledge worker era is over. And so first of all, talk about what you mean by that, but then what does that mean to Tenarai? How do you think about talent inside?
So first of all, I strongly believe that knowing was one of the pillars of any IT services companies of 2025 and earlier, right? Think about this. We upskilled our people. We had large centers in different locations geographically where we train people in large numbers on certain skills. So when you move from digital transformation to cloud, we train people on cloud. But this one is not about training, right? you train somebody in a model and 2 weeks later a new one comes out. So people are really grappling with what to train for. So what you really need is not knowledge, but you really need to have people who can solve problems and get the outcomes that we need. So we call our engineers outcome engineer. So this whole process is what we call outcome engineering. So it's a big shift for us to say, hey, focus on the problem, no more proof of concept, no more demos. If a customer wants to do something, go talk to the customer, work with them, and try and prove their concept in their environment, right?
Yeah.
And once you prove of value, then you can deploy. That's a big shift for us. So I think that's why I feel that this whole knowledge worker concept of people, just because you know something, you become very successful, get paid more, is over. And it's a very provocative thing to say, and a lot of people have got a lot of backlash for that.
Yeah.
But I can.
Well, I love it. Like I said, I love when CEOs say provocative things. Now, on the topic of talent, I was in Davos this year, and the World Economic Forum issued a report saying AI would eliminate 90 million jobs, but it would create 130 million, I think. Now, when I and there's a lot of discussion about that, right? Sam Altman believes all jobs are going away. Jensen Huang believes more are coming. And I noticed that Tenarai has created a couple new job roles. One is a forward deployment engineer, another one's an agentic design lead, and these to me are jobs that are uniquely AI. And so I'm curious, how do you, when you think about that within the context of your own team, how do you retrain your 6,000 plus employees to make sure that their skill sets do stay current, and so they're not on the outside looking in?
So first and foremost, I think some of this is not just about training, it's just giving people an opportunity to work on the right set of things, right? So this FD concept, one of the first things we did was we had a whole process of how to select FDs. We opened it up to all of our 6,000 plus employees to say, if you want to be an FD, apply for this. And we went through a process and selected the ones we feel are the best. So it's not just about retraining, but giving people the opportunity, which means we had to work with our clients, tell them that, hey, our folks are ready to put things in production. Are they ready with the technology? And how do you get them to in front of them and drive them? So that's why the whole FD concept is working very well for us. So I think this is a process. I don't think AI is going to take your job away, but if you don't use AI,
that's true.
Your job is going to go away, right? Taken by another human. Who knows AI?
All right, thanks. And I do believe that statement that if you're not using AI, someone isn't going to take your job. Now, Tenarai has what it's called an enterprise AI platform that you actually use as an internal innovation engine, right? And so is that really where you think the magic happens, where you take a bold idea and move it into a business outcome?
Yeah, I think the magic happens from three things need to come together. That's where the alchemy happens. One, you need to have the customer's context, right? Second, you need to understand the domain in which the customer operates. Third, you have to bring the right technology. So technology is just one piece of this, which means that you need to bring all of this. And then if you start with the outcome in mind, there may be process re-engineering that was needed. You have to completely rethink about what is the best way to get the outcome. You bring all of this together, that's when the magic happens. And the platform for us is an accelerator. It is not an end by itself to means. It is an accelerator. And that accelerator is what helps us to get customers faster output. So I think the outcomes for us are, hey, is there some way I'm impacting revenue? Is some way impacting your margins or profitability? Is it significantly improving customer experience? And finally, the most important thing in this AI era is speed. Am I doing things faster than I did before?
Well, I love the focus on outcomes. In fact, at NRF this year, I was speaking to the CIO of L'Oreal, right, big brand, and he said he comes to shows like that, unlike Google Next Cloud, not as a technology show, but as a business outcome show. And so I think that focus is correct. Now, I want to shift gears a little bit here. Earlier this week, you made another interesting announcement. You expanded your board, and you have Shashank Samant joining, right? And so with his experience, I think it's pretty clear you have some big global ambitions. And so talk about how important his role is and what we can expect from Tenarai the rest of the year.
So first of all, I'm thrilled that Shashank chose to join us and join our board of directors. He's got a vast, he's very, very successful in what he did. He ran another company called Global Logic, took it from 50 million to over $1 billion in a short amount of time, and very successful exit as well. So have him on a board is extremely valuable. And one of the things that Shashank is going to help us is in the partner ecosystem. He's got a lot of access to startups, a lot of access into larger technology companies that can help us. So he's going to definitely help us with that, and that's number one. Second, we don't have a 3-year strategy anymore. It's all short-term strategy.
Nobody does, right?
Exactly. So he's helping us look at our short-term strategy. There's clarity there, helping me drive it. I'm very happy and thrilled that I'm able to get somebody of his stature to join Tenarai.
All right. Now, so just to close out, when you look ahead at the rest of 26, which is the one industry, be it retail, healthcare, or maybe there's not just one, but you think will be the most unrecognizable a year from now because of the work Tenarai is doing?
I think it's hard to predict. I think almost all of the industries will go through a tremendous amount of change this coming year. I mean, more than anything. I can give you 2 examples of areas that we are working in. One is travel. I think your travel experience is going to be very different. Even though with all of the AI, it's still hard to book a flight.
It's so disjointed.
Yeah,
it's just
completely disjointed. Yeah. But we are working with some clients who have platforms now. They're building out, which will completely change the experience. So I think travel is going to undergo a big change. I think in retail, the whole hyper-personalization, people talk about this, but having offers and items that really resonate with you is another area. I think retail is going to see some significant change. Obviously healthcare, I think healthcare is going to be slightly slower because of the regulatory nature of this. So I think those 3 are very good areas that I feel significant changes.
I do think healthcare's got some of the most upside though.
Yeah.
So
significant upside.
Yeah.
You said in the next 1 year.
That's
I'm not
true.
sure.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And so for enterprise IT pros out there watching right now, they're scratching their heads going, man, how do I move ahead with AI? A couple pieces of advice from them.
First, start with outcomes.
Start with outcomes.
Start with outcomes.
Yeah.
Then you understand the customer, go back to the basic, understand the customer's context, what are they trying to solve. Second, you understand the domain in which they're operating and tie it all back to outcomes, and then start designing the solution. AI will work. And that's the only way to accelerate AI.
All right, so I'm going to do one more question then on outcomes, since you're the one who mentioned it. For your customers, the Tenarai customers, is there really a North Star outcome that you set for your customers that you work towards, or does that vary by customer?
It varies by customer because every customer has a different set of problems that we work with. Because again, when you focus on outcomes, you're solving problems, right? So, but having said that, it kind of boils down to the 4 things I just mentioned earlier. Number 1, it has somewhat tied to revenue growth. Second, there'll be profitability, a huge focus on profitability. Third is, I think, speed. They have not focused on speed as much because always technology delays them, not accelerates them. I think speed is a huge play.
Yeah.
And then finally, improved customer experience. Those are 4 outcomes that all of the problems you solve will fall under.
It's been interesting in the work I've done with customers this year too. I'd say last year at this time, AI was all about how do I save money, and today it's all about how do I grow the business.
Correct.
And I've always said, if you want to save money, pick up the phone, call Google Cloud, or renegotiate your contract.
Yeah.
But driving additional revenue is really,
Absolutely.
I think, worth
I think that's the shift.
Yeah.
If you ask me, this coming year's shift is going to be exactly that.
All right.
And that's why I think industries that focus on outcomes will see faster change.
All right, Dinesh, anything else you want to add?
No, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Congrats on the rebrand. Congrats on the launch of the company, and hope you have a great show.
Very excited to be here.
On behalf of Dinesh Venugopal from Google Next Cloud, I'm Zeus, Kerravala from ZK Research Team. Thanks for watching. Give us a like and also hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time on the next episode of ZKast.